Anybody else have any questions?
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, I have an answer. You know, if this is it for you, if you walk away from here and there's something you want to take away with you, you can pick up the Meisner book and read the book. You can look at the video of him teaching. You can practice the repetition and just, keep practicing and try and get more and more out of your head and better at reading behavior. Like I said, the Meisner Technique, the way he designed it, it was a 2-year process. So you need to be it's no different than going to the gym. If you're working certain muscles, then you have to work those muscles.
This is the first step?
This is the first step, and I always, in the class, I start with the repetition. I like to start with it because we never get 100%, we never get every moment. So it's a good exercise. You guys could practice it on your own. Don't volunteer information. Don't try to make the other person do anything. Just can I listen and respond. I think Paris is going to be a place that I'll be coming to maybe 5 times a year and do these 2-week workshops. I believe there is room in the classes I'm going to be teaching in the next 2 weeks. If anyone's interested, you can talk to Octave. You wouldn't want to miss out. But all good things must come to an end. So if you have no questions, I bid you all adieu.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I have an answer.
It's a naive question, but we have just 2 hours. So, how do you come to the text?
How do you come to the text? That's a process, but then, like, over these next 2 weeks, I'm not trying to put the whole technique in a 2-week period, but I do give you tools that you can use immediately, like through these exercises, through the improvisations, and then we will work on a scene or a monologue, and I show you how to do that, how to emotionally prepare, how to take these exercises, what we're doing, and put it into the work. Right from the first reading, we already begin to apply it. When I have my students sit down to read a text, I don't want them acting it. I want them to really just listen, right? So as I'm speaking to you, you're not reading ahead, you're really listening to me. And then you go down, and you're really allowing the other person to affect you right from the first reading. And a lot of times in that first reading, it's very important you discover things that sometimes you would spend the whole rehearsal period to try to find what you found in that first reading, where a lot of times actors are acting first time they read something. And what are they doing? They're pretty much playing the punctuation. They're getting angry without any real reason to be angry. They don't even know why they're angry. And that's not the only way I might express myself in that moment. It might come from tears because I'm disappointed more than I'm angry. But sometimes you've probably worked with actors, they pick up a script and they start acting. They're not even speaking in their normal voice. Mm-hmm. So sometimes I might just say, all right, let's take that away. Just get in touch with one another. Right? Now that you're really talking to each other, now talk to each other.
Hmm. I've tried that. Is it important to, touch the other actor? I've tried this exercise in the Meisner thing.
With any student you're working with or any actor you're working with, it depends on them. That, getting physical may help somebody, but it might inhibit somebody else. Somebody else may not want that. So, if I'm directing something, I like to talk to my actors and get a sense of who they are, and then work accordingly. So it's like, well, how does this fit into anything? But then when you see the work, when I first moved to Los Angeles, I was just studying at HB Studios and just taking scene study classes, and I thought I had a certain amount of talent. I was aware of Strasberg because I love Pacino, and I sat in on the Strasberg class, and it looked like an insane asylum. And then I sat in on a Meisner class, and I just saw the repetition, and I thought, I don't know, it feels like a step backwards. I don't see how that has anything to do with acting. But then I saw a scene night with both groups, And with the Meisner class, it didn't seem like anybody was acting. Everybody was real. Emotionally, it was real. I felt things. So I thought there must be something to this, to these exercises. You know, there was something to Strasberg as well. But I think having a foundation in Meisner to just take the attention off yourself is so valuable. It's so valuable so that you're not self-conscious and you're not watching yourself. And then it just affects everything else. And then your acting is like real life. There's no more acting. Okay?
Perfect. Thank you.
Anybody else have any questions?
Yes.
Yes.
I don't remember. Just read something by dancer. He says that there's no solo don't exist, because even when you dance by yourself, you're dancing, for example, with the floor. I want to ask you what happens with a monologue. What happens when you tell a story? In this Meisner technique, like when you, like, the partner is a tool, but when you put it on the side, what happens to, like?
Well, I'm not putting them on the side. I'm playing in concert with the other person with everything. You know, if I'm doing a play, right?
Yeah.
In truth, the audience is another character in the piece. I'm not letting the audience take me out of it, but say, or I'm not anticipating anything from the audience either. I've worked with actors that, when they're doing comedy especially, they think they already know this is where the audience is going to laugh, and and it's a terrible way to work. First of all, I don't want to think about the audience. I want to just live in that circumstance. But if the audience does laugh, I don't hear it as the audience laughing. I hear it as a plane going by or a motorcycle going by or something that fits the scene. I work off that, and the reason I slow down is not so the audience can hear what I have to say. I want to make sure that my partner understands what I'm going to have to say. So you end up working off of everything. Okay? And, yeah.
So what about if you don't have any partner, like you are all alone, like a monologue in front of the camera? Or so you
but I'm still working off. If I'm doing, I'm not talking to nobody. It's as if I'm talking to who.
Yeah.
Because I'm not just doing a monologue at something. If I'm doing a monologue, what is a monologue? It's a slice of life. I'm talking to somebody. So I have to answer this question for myself. Who am I talking to? Why am I saying this? What do I want? And what happens if I don't get it? Okay? So I'm not ever talking to nobody. So Meisner gives us, it's called the as if. It says if my son is there, or as if I'm talking to my mother, or as if. And we do exercises too that help to strengthen the imagination. You know, in the beginning we start doing this independent activity. The difficulty helps to strengthen the actor's focus and concentration. And then the meaning that you attach to it, the reason why you're doing it, helps to stimulate your imagination. And all of it helps to strengthen our actor's faith. Actor's faith is the ability to believe that these circumstances are real. If the actor believes it, it affects the actor and the audience. If I don't believe it, then it's just bullshit. Then it's just acting. But it's all about making it personal. You know, we always make the strongest choice, the most personal choice, the most active choice.
The process where you get to the imaginary part is after the back and forth of that exercise that we just did.
Oh yeah, this exercise is just to take the actor out of their head. This exercise is just to get us to begin to listen. This exercise is to get us to not anticipate. This exercise helps give us a sense of public solitude on stage. The feeling that you're not being watched when you're in public. This exercise lays down the foundation for everything else we're going to do. You could see, even today, just in what we did, when people are really connected and when they're allowing the other person to affect them, okay? Or if they're trying to do too much with it, or they're trying to make it more interesting.
Tu vois aujourd'hui à quel moment les gens étaient connectés, à quel moment ils étaient vraiment ensemble, ou quand ils essayaient de rendre la chose plus intéressante et qu'ils étaient en train d'ajouter quelque chose qui n'était pas présent.
Bien sûr. Ok. Merci.
But all good things must come to an end. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.